All right, guys, for everybody chiming in, I'm just going to wait a few seconds here. See who clicks on. All right, as we're getting ready to discuss headaches. Headaches. I know a lot of people get these. I'm trying to help people understand what we can do to get rid of them as easy as we possibly can. All right. So, headaches. I've gotten people who contacted me about, my son or daughter has these headaches coming on. Nobody knows why, but they just say, hey, they've been having all kind of things, almost to the point where they can't sleep at night, they cry, all this kind of stuff. And it's going to one thing specifically that I can really relate it to is all the technology. Okay. The constant sitting, the constant technology, the constant staring down at our phones or whatever apparatuses we're on, that is causing a direct link to why people call and say they have head pain. All right. They call it headaches. I call it head pain because I think it's a little different. Okay. But what we can do about it, and then also what you got to do consistently and constantly to make sure it doesn't come back. Now, the basic thing you can do very simply, okay, if I have any kind of pain, is take one of these. It can be lacrosse ball, baseball, golf ball, whatever. And you want to actually massage out right in between the shoulder blades back here. Okay? Right next to the shoulder blades, you want to roll. So you want to lay on your back, have the ball roll right in that area. That's your rhomboid. Here's what people don't understand. The rhomboid is attached all the way to the back here, all the way up in the skull. So if I'm tight, okay, which many people are, in this region here, okay, and it's pulling down on you, you're going to have pain up in that area. Okay, so you want to make sure that you roll that out because that tends to be extremely tight. Okay, and how the human body works is if something's tight, it tends to also be weak. Okay, so people who tend to have, what people call tightness, it tends to be a lot of times it's weakness. So it's causing a problem with our bodies. So when I get in that position, I'm laying on the ground, I'm putting the ball right here. It's going to start to relax this out. Well, that's going to start to relax up into the head. Okay? Get that to start to relax. You're going to start to feel better. Now, that's a temporary fix. You will most likely get rid of pain. Everybody that I have who has that has gotten rid of the pain in the sense of, hey, it doesn't hurt anymore. They do it every night or whatever during the day, and they tend to get rid of it. Now, how long do you do it for? 30 seconds a minute. Find out, roll it out, get it in. Now, you can get a massage, but you don't need a massage. All you need is a ball. So you can take it anywhere with you. I have some people who play in tournaments, and, the first game they were okay. By the second game, they're having that issue. They take a ball right there, lay down on the turf or wherever they're at the court, and they roll that out, and they're usually fine. Okay? What else you need to start doing is you need to start strengthening the posterior chain, all right, which is the back part here into the shoulders. Okay? That area tends to be extremely weak because, like I said, we look down most of the time, whether we're writing on our phones, whatever. I know people call it text neck, whatever you want to call it. It's causing that weakness there. So if we're not strengthening up that area, which a lot of people miss, a lot of people when they go to the gym, they hit the front part, but they don't hit the upper back. All right. And I see it even with a lot of bodybuilders. A lot of guys who are strong tend to have very weak upper, the posterior chain of their shoulders is very weak. The rotator cuff area, the posterior chain tends to be extremely weak. So you got to make a conscious effort of making sure this in your program 2 to 3 times a week, some basic exercise. Now, if you want to know some of those basic exercises, reach out. We can discuss. But you have to work that area. So the first thing I would do is roll that out, all right, to start to eliminate the pain, to see if that's the issue. Second thing is start to strengthen it, okay? And how do you normally tell? It's pretty easy for me to see. But one of the things is if I'm standing on the side here and my head is coming forward, all right, I have tech neck, or I'm going to have a lot of stress put on here. There's a lot of weakness, a lot of tightness that's going to go on. So you're going to have a lot of issues in that area. So that's one of the things you want to look for. If you see your son, your daughter, whoever you're dealing with, having that protruding neck is coming forward, you want to fix that up. Okay. The second way, all right, that I have people who have headaches is you got to take in more salt. Okay. Forget about what the FDA, government, whoever it is out there saying, oh, don't take salt, don't take salt. They're lying to you. Your body needs salt. It's a great nutrient if you take the right type of salt. So the two that I typically recommend are Himalayan, all right, which is the pink salt, or even a better one is the Celtic salt. You can order these online. I don't know if the store, they might sell them, but the Celtic salts have incredible nutrients in them. All right. It's very beneficial to the body. Okay. It's not what everybody tries to tell you, oh, it's bad for you, all this kind of stuff. Don't take salt. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. No, your body needs that. That's actually one of the key ingredients in hydration. People don't understand this. Your sports drinks, they don't have salt. It's really not a hydrating drink. Okay. The thing that really makes it hydrating is that salt. So you want to make sure that you take salt. And I get the Celtic salt, which is a little bit bigger grains, okay, about this big. I'll just stick them in my mouth. Like you can mix it with water if you want, whatever you want to do. I'll just stick it in my mouth, let it dissolve. Okay, I take 2 or 3 of those a day. I usually feel pretty good now in the summer. Sometimes when I'm out teaching my classes, I take a little bit more. Those other hydration things I do and I can talk on, but that's what I do. But what that does is it helps out with the brain. Okay, the brain's starved of fluid. Okay, because remember there's a fluid sac that sits around it. It's starved of that, so your body starts to hurt. So you need to make sure you're taking in enough salt. And a lot of times, if you just take the salt in, put it in water, dissolve it, drink it, a lot of times those headaches will go away. So they're the 2 simple ways to do it. Rolling this posterior in between my shoulder blades out, working the posterior chain will help to bring your neck back, but it's not being stressed forward. Okay, putting all kind of stress on the neck, and then actually just adding in that salt. 2 basic ways. Now, if you have deep, hardcore headaches, yes, it could be something deeper. The last way that I found out and started doing more and more studying on is actually strengthening the neck. Why? Because we know when we strengthen up certain body parts, we have to create more capillaries. We know what the capillaries are. They take the blood from the arteries, run it through the capillaries, and goes into the veins. Okay. The more capillaries I have that going out, they're spreading out all over, can also go into the brain. Guess what? I'm getting more blood and oxygen flow to the brain. Big, huge benefit. Okay. So my neck is bigger and stronger. All right. I'm going to get more capillaries, which is going to allow more blood flow to the area, which is very, very vitally important. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. Make sure you're taking those in. What neck strengthening exercises you do? You can look up tons of them, very basic ones you can do at home. You can reach out. But those are the things you want to look for. Those 3 things. Rolling the rhomboids, all right, which is next to the shoulder blades, because like I said, it attaches all the way up into here, into the back part of the neck or in the head. You want to take in more salt. And then 3, you want to start working the neck, strengthen that up. Now, some of the stuff you do for the posterior chain will help that out, but there's more also stuff just specific for the neck. Work those areas. Watch what you can do and eliminate. Then you don't have to take all this medication, this bull crap stuff that they're trying to push on you. You don't need that stuff. Remember what I say. With every prescription you take, there's about 70 side effects. So if you want to have side effects, great, go for it. Take all the prescriptions you want. But if you actually want to heal yourself naturally, then start doing it differently. Because we all know how important salt is. Okay? It's a natural thing. We've heard people who sweat. Okay, when they're out, they sweat salt sometimes. I've done it many times where you actually have little tiny sweat particles sometimes drowning. Okay, so we know that's natural. Okay, we just have to take more in if we're not getting enough, if we're depleted of it. Strengthen the neck, key. Sitting and doing this is not natural, so we got to get it where we're stronger, so we're not having that issue. So go back to the natural ancestral ways of healing. Okay, as God has intended us to, and we can have a lot less problems. Okay, there's a lot of simple things you can do. You just got to be willing to take your time, patience, and diving into it. But reach out with different questions. Make sure you go back and check out my other videos I did on ice, why ice does not work. Okay, when it comes to injuries, and commitment, what it takes to have a healthy lifestyle. But not only that, but to be a great athlete. What kind of commitment are you in? All right, reach out. Let me know how I can help. This is Coach Bricks, guys. Continue to stay earth strong. Also follow us for all our explosive sports performance videos on speed, strength, power, all that kind of stuff for athletes out there that are playing a sport right now. Let us help you. Be blessed and God bless you.